A couple in Melbourne just had their marriage annulled because the bride falsely believed it was just a prank, bro. The bride and groom's names haven't been revealed due to Australian law protecting their identities, but here's what we know. The bride, who was in her 20s, met a man in his 30s on a dating site back in September of 2023. The two of them are not Australian citizens, but were living in Melbourne at the time. After matching, the two met up and started dating and moved very quickly. After dating for 3 months, they got engaged in late December, and 2 days later, they were married. But the woman believed the wedding was all an act. The woman said the groom had told her to attend a venue wearing a white dress because there would be a white party, a party at which all the guests wear white. And since the trip had been pre-planned and they had previously attended a white party in Queensland, she never suspected anything fishy. However, no one else was wearing white. Only 2 people were present, a photographer and his friend. None of her family was there, and most importantly, she wasn't prepared for a wedding. How romantic. When she asked the man what was happening, he, quote, pulled me aside and told me he was organizing a prank wedding for his social media, to be precise, Instagram, because he wants to boost his content and wants to start monetizing his Instagram page. The court heard. The woman said she thought marriages were only legal if they took place in a court, and that she called a friend to ask for advice on what was happening. Her friend told her she could not legally get married without filing a notice of intention to marry, according to the court documents. So she played along, thinking this was all a joke and not real. But fast forward to February 2024, when she was applying for permanent residency in Australia, and her fake husband asked her to put him as a dependent, which should not have been possible. That's when the truth came out. He was actually a scammer, using her to get asylum in the country. Really, your modern day fairy tale romance right there. The groom told the court that he had started making plans for the wedding in November. A notice of intended marriage dated November 2023, a month before the man had proposed, had 2 signatures on it. However, the bride denied seeing it or signing it, according to court documents. According to the Guardian, the bride, who's religious, told the court she wouldn't get married without her parents' permission, presence, and a proper wedding dress and reception. The groom, of course, tried to deny everything because the dude's an Instagram scammer. He testified that immediately after they met, he had told her he was bisexual and that she was cool with it, and moved into his home. I don't even know what that deal has to do with anything. He said the wedding was intended to be intimate and before an official wedding ceremony in their home country at a later date, and they both agreed to these circumstances. But nobody was buying it. According to Justice Joshua Wilson, the applicant did not have a single family member or friend present at the alleged wedding ceremony. She was religious. Precisely why she would participate in a civil marriage and not in a church marriage ceremony went unexplored. It made no sense to me that she would. One of the weirder stories, I've done a lot of stuff for the gram, but never gotten married, mostly because I can't find a prank wife, and that's my own issue. Jackson?
I don't know what the hell is going on with this story. I'm thinking that I'm following it, and then there's just all these curveballs in the middle. Like neither one of these people knew what was going on the whole time. I get, it was revealed that he's a scammer, but it doesn't seem like he had much of a concrete plan in order. And a young woman in her 20s, when we're in our 20s, we're really still kids. I'm gonna be 33 in a few days, and I'm realizing like, wow, I was a child in my 20s. Thought I was super grown. I technically was. But yeah, so I guess this is the time for her to make these types of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? She could just chuck it up to being in her 20s. But yeah, man, this is a very entertaining saga right here. I definitely want to see how things come to a close.
On the scale of things that people have done for clout or social media attention, I would, and if we were to measure how offensive or wrong or desperate they are, allegedly for social media attention, it's not that big of a deal. The asylum thing, it's like kind of weird. I don't know. If you want to get in there, if that's how you do it, I don't really care. I think it's not my business. But it sounds like this person was just duped in every way, no matter what the real story was. It just sounds like she was duped. I kind of feel bad for her. Maybe she felt some sort of connection. Maybe she was in on it. I don't know. Just feels like a really icky situation to be in all around.
He does seem like a super creep, right?
Yeah, super creep. I mean, pulling an internet prank is one thing. I'm a bit of a prankster myself. I've been known for my pranks, but pulling a prank of a marriage, you might want to clue in your girlfriend ahead of time before having her show up at the thing. So I guess the prank was on her, and she's married now. I'm sure their marriage is probably more stable than most marriages on account of the low track record of the institution in general. Um, what do you guys think of online dating, of dating apps in general? Because I'm on the apps and it's a wild place.
I mean, it's another place to meet people at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I think, especially too, I mean, just being practical, most people don't particularly have access to a lot of optionality, not because they, couldn't hypothetically get matches in the real world, but because they just are in a small radius. Maybe they go to work, they don't travel a lot. So it's a way to meet people who are, spread about, maybe in your town or your city and your country. So I mean, it's practical at the end of the day, but just you meet people at the bar, you meet people at the grocery store. At the end of the day, you got to put some effort into it. So, you know, dating is
Well,
dating at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it works for some people. I think that's great. I dated somebody that I had met on an app for about a year, and it was fine. Didn't really pursue any other app-based connections throughout the rest of my dating history. Just like didn't work well for me. I don't know why, but I'm glad it works for some people. I think though that everyone should do what I did to find love, which is wrapping up your TYT show on Twitch, have the chat take you somewhere else to raid another streamer, get to know that person, and then years later get engaged. And that's how I met my fiance, thanks to the TYT viewers.
Hey, that's pretty playing, man. That's
crazy.
that's a
Crazy
lovely
story.
yeah, that's a lovely story. See, again, you never know how it's gonna go down. You just gotta try things out, and one thing leads to another.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I mean, on that note, congratulations on your engagement, and I'd like to tell I can't even say it, the general viewing public, that my DMs are open at Ben Glebe on Instagram.
Someone
I'm on the
find
app
Ben a
like,
wife.
yes, yeah, yes. I don't need to say what my preference type is. That'd be weird to say on air, is it? I don't know. Anyway, is that weird to say? I like petite brunettes generally. Can I say that? I don't know. I'm allowed to have
You
preferences.
could say it.
I said it, so it's too late regardless. But I make exceptions. I love all people. I'd like to make that clear as well.
We all have a
We just
type,
all have
man.
preferences in this world. We all have a type,
Yeah.
exactly. But being on these apps, it's just such a weird world. I'm on one app that has a feature now that allows people to click on their profile that they're there just for friends. And while you might think in theory that's a nice feature to like take out some of the intensity of online app dating, do you know how deeply hurtful it is to not match with somebody who's just there for friends? Literally, someone doesn't even want to not go out with me. This person doesn't even want to.
I got enough friends. I'm good.
Yeah, I got
Right.
plenty of friends. I'm here for them. I'm trying to meet them, but this person I have no interest whatsoever.
Need somebody to get high with on Thursday afternoons. You know what I'm saying? They got some
Listen,
empty
again,
bowls,
Again,
some
DMs are open.
Netflix shows.
DMs
You
are
know what
open.
I'm saying?
Yes, 100, 115, if that's even a number we can get to. It's just a weird play, but I've never understood why people are against online dating or app dating these days, because we use
Yeah.
computer for every single thing. We use technology to find every match in our lives, to find a new apartment, a new house, a new car, to buy a lamp. We'll search hundreds of images online, read tons of reviews, make sure it's vetted. But for the person who's going to live in our bed and we're going to spend the rest of our lives with, some people are like, let's leave that one to chance. I'm not interested in being able to see more people and make a more informed decision. That one just needs to be magic in the streets. Whoever I bump into and whose book bag I accidentally knock over and I lock into their eyes. That's my only planned approach for meeting a partner. So I don't quite get it. I will always be on the apps until I, meet that person or they make a good enough AI girlfriend.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. Again, it's just another avenue to meet people. And again, unless you're a certain type of person who has some type of notoriety, how else are people supposed to see you?
I do have some amount of notoriety, and still it's not working out. So thanks
I'm just being
rubbing
practical,
that in
man.
even a little further to both of you that have partners. Unless you have some kind of notoriety, where it should be easy to meet people. Otherwise,
no, that's
you should try other things that I'm also trying. Thanks for nothing, Greg. Thank you for absolutely nothing. It's been great being on air with you guys. I am glad you both found love. I'm gonna get on these apps right now and see if I have any pending matches, which I most likely will not.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.